The moon is waxing, the spirits are being nosy, and the stars are aligned just right, and my physical TBR is growing while my book slump is deepening. So naturally, I've decided to surrender my reading life to the tarot deck. Will this bring me literary bliss? Or will I sink deeper and deeper into my reading slump? Let's find out. So I thought it would be fun to let my tarot deck decide what I'm going to read this summer. Because they have yet to steer me wrong. They actually might know best what books I should be picking. So to do this, I'm going to pick 13 cards, and each draw is going to be a type of vibe, a theme, a prompt for a book that I'm going to pick off my physical TBR. So basically each card is going to represent a theme or a challenge or a vibe that's going to guide me to the right book. It's going to be a magical, albeit a little bit chaotic, way to assemble my summer TBR for this little cottage witch that has way too many books on her physical TBR. So let's do this. Hi, so I went out for a bit. My microphone actually stopped while I was filming this, and the first card I had already drawn and I was telling you about it, but there was no sound. So I had to stop, charge my microphone, and now I'm back. But I'm of course not going to redraw the first card because that's not how it works. First card that I draw was the Devil, for the energy I needed. It kind of popped out at me while I was shuffling the cards. And that means that the energy I need is going to be indulgent, messy, and morally grey. So I thought Good Omens would be the perfect book for that. It says, what's so funny about Armageddon? More than you think. So that sounds morally grey and indulgent and funny, and I think this is going to be great. The second card that I'm going to draw is going to be for a book that the universe wants me to read. Let's see. Four of Wands. So this is going to need to be a book that is happy, celebratory, a party, maybe something about a marriage. Let's see what we got. Let's go with Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the third book in the series of, well, I don't know what the series is, but first book was Icebreaker. And I picked this book because it is about love and finding your loved one. And because the card says something about marriage, I thought this would be great. The third card is going to give us a book that's going to be my comfort read. Let's see. Four of Elixirs, but it's upside down. So Four of Elixirs is about being bored and being stuck and sitting around, being disappointed, but it's upside down, so the energy is blocked. We're going to have to find a book that is a book about picking yourself back up again. Let's see what we have. That's gotta be The Dead Romantics, because this is about Florence, who should be writing big, swoon-worthy romances, but she can't anymore because of a big breakup. And now she has to pick herself back up again after a tragedy as well. The fourth card that I'm going to draw is going to have to be a challenge. Let's see. We've got Two of Wands, also upside down. It says instinct, planning, out of the box, acting while doing nothing, and balance. The Two of Rods points to a period of a balance between doing things and doing no things. You're feeling restless and want to do stuff, but you also realize for the long term it's better to wait. This card encourages you to follow your instincts so you can realize your dreams, but also be able to look at things from another perspective. You will know when the time is ripe to get into action. But again, it's upside down. So a book about not having the balance between action and inaction, but needing to find it. So let's see. I think it's going to be, I don't have it here, but I think it's going to be the third book in Pierce Brown's Red Rising series, because I think the main character is struggling with when to get into action and when not, when to do stuff and when to sit back and let stuff happen. So I'm going to say that that's the one for, you know what, I will just grab it, it's upstairs. Here we go, Morning Star by Pierce Brown, that's the 4th book. Let's move on. I'm going to pick a book that's going to be a message from past me. Let's see. We have Two of Elixirs, again, upside down. True love, soulmates, a relationship meant to be. Okay, so let's pick a romance of a relationship that's meant to be, that's true love. You know, I would say an Ellie Hazelwood book, but I've already read all of those. So I'm going to go with Funny Story maybe? Or Book Lovers. I don't know if this is actually about true love and people that are meant to be. I don't know, because it also says she's no heroine, he's no hero, so can they take a page out of an entirely different book? One summer, two rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. Let's see. We put Two of Elixirs here. Maybe it's perfect because Two of Elixirs was upside down, so let's find the prompt for book 6. This is going to be a book with a message that current me really needs. Three of Swords, fear, pain, love sickness, bad luck, and grief. Okay, the most dramatic card in tarot. It carries desperation and fear that are part of life. This card, usually found at the end of an important relationship or personal adventure, is a card that shows up and represents the sadness that goes with death. Grief is, of course, natural and healthy, but at some point you need to pick yourself back up and move on without staying in the sadness. Learn from the situation and let the pain go. Okay. Well, that's a dramatic card indeed, and it's for my current self. Okay. Well, nice to know. Let's find a book about grief and letting go. Grief and letting go. Grief and letting go. Hey, there's money here. That's nice. Let's go with the Beekeeper of Aleppo because this is full of grief and they have to let go, but they are also holding on tight to finding each other. So, Beekeeper of Aleppo. Ooh. Let's move on to lucky number 7, a book that tells me something about my future self. Two of Swords, upside down. Decision, impasse, insecurity, balance, missing information. I'm in a situation that needs a decision in the future. Okay, but it's upside down, so there is a blocked energy. A book about indecisiveness. What is the book Persuasion about?
Here's an answer from BarnesandNoble.com.
I'm going with Persuasion by Jane Austen, which is about a woman that is talked into not pursuing a relationship or stopping a relationship and then deciding to go back into it. So, Persuasion for Two of Swords upside down. Let's move on to number 8. A book with gentle magic. Let's see, gentle magic, please. Gentle magic. The High Priestess, also upside down. So it's got to be intuitive and mysterious, or because it's upside down, something is blocking the intuition, but it's got to be witchy. So let's see what we have. I think we're going to go with The Slow Regard of Silent Things, which is a novella in Patrick Rothfuss's Kingkiller Chronicles. And this is about Ari, who has gone mad from the magic. And she lives at the dark places of the university. And her intuition definitely has been tampered with. So I think this is the one to go with for the upside down high priestess. We're at 9. I want a book of shadows. Oh, what's it called? The one that helps the knights. The one that helps the knights. The squire. Squire of Wands, the Wands of Squires. So we gotta go for a short, light read that lights a spark, but it's also going to be a book of shadows. So it's black and white. Optimistic, curious, but also dark. That's crazy. Okay, what do we pick? Optimistic and dark. I somehow have a book for that. The Lies of Locke Lamora. This is about someone that is fun and optimistic and bubbly, but also a crime lord. So I think at least a book of power. The Knight of Elixirs. Upside down. Romantic, tactful, loving. So the opposite of that. A book of power. This is sounding like a dark romance, right? He is romantic, loving, he likes everything pretty, and he is tactful. So we need a dark romance, since it's upside down. I think I'm going to go with The Wicked King, which is the second book in the series of The Folk of the Air. It's about Fae. This is about, I've heard that for mortals, the feeling of falling in love is very much like the feeling of fear. Jude has tricked Cardan onto the throne, binding him to her for a year and a day. But the new High King does everything in his power to humiliate and undermine her. That's the one. Let's move to where are we? Number 11, A Temptation. A book that has been tempting me for a while. Let's see. The Empress. So we need a lush and sensory story, nurturing, nature heavy, and beautiful. And it's gotta be A Temptation. Well, this fits together. Let's see if we have any hot books. Maybe just for the summer? No, I don't think. What about the Friend Zone Experiment? No. I need something more nature-based. Maybe The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches? No, I don't think so. More nature. Something that's been tempting me. Maybe this is the one that I need to buy. I'm going to find a book heavily nature-based about a witch and a love. I think that's the way. So, the Empress is going to get a new book, and I'll let you know which one that is. Let's move on to something to let go of. The King of Wands. Passion, flirtation, power, passionate and strong. He wants you to use your power and personal might to reach your goals. Something to let go of. I think we're going to get rid of the ritual. I have it in my closet. I don't need it. Let's get rid of it. I've gotten this far, and I put it down. It was too much. Maybe it's time to let go of it. Maybe letting go means finishing it. Where was I? Okay, last one. The one to end it all. Death. Upside down. Transformation, a book about grief, change, or rebirth, but upside down, so something's blocked. Change, rebirth, transformation. Transformation that needs to happen. I'm gonna go with Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, because this is about an entire worlds that are transforming because of two people coming together. So that's it. I got everything. These are all the books that I'm going to have to read over the summer, picked by my tarot cards. So it should be very good. Like I said, my cards never steered me wrong. I think they haven't either now. So hopefully you could hear any of that, because I was definitely covering my mic. These are the books. 13 books, 13 vibes, and hopefully not my 13th reasons why. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Please comment down below if you would ever do something like this, and what books you would have picked for the cards that I drew, because I would like some suggestions. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.